The Amazing Spider-Man issue 35 sees Doom come to New York, putting the city in lockdown with his Doombots as he demands his killer be brought to him. The heroes of New York meanwhile battle the Doombots as Peter finds Teresa thanks to his spider traces. Teresa knows that the chameleon caused all of this, but Peter knows this has to have been Countess Karkoff thanks to her war with Silver Sable. Teresa says that Chameleon is playing them both against one another, and luckily she knows where the villain is. Dimitri meanwhile contacts the Countess, telling her he's not happy her little war is happening right on his own doorstep, and Victor wants everyone involved in the assassination brought to him. Chameleon turns into a Latavarian security guard, but Countess knows that won't work since she gave them his coordinates. They turn out to be Spider-Man and Teresa, who immediately shoot the disguised Chameleon, but she only wounds him. She tries to interrogate him, but Dimitri shapeshifts into her old partner, causing her to beat him. Chameleon says that he wasn't the killer, but he provided the weapons whose signature is so unique it will lead Doom to his killer. Teresa takes him to the killer's location, finding it to be the Hitman, who has been killed. Dimitri reveals that he's been dead for a few years, but was cloned by Ben Reilly's Jackal, and he's been uploading his consciousness again and again to the cloud and into fresh bodies, making him a very useful person for this job, since it doesn't matter if his current body was killed, and it makes him the perfect scapegoat. Teresa wants to kill Chameleon, but Peter pulls her aside, saying he understands what she's going through, but she doesn't think he does, since Dimitri killed someone she cared about. Peter says that if anyone can understand, it's him. Teresa apologizes, and Peter reveals that she's got more a reason to hate him than most, since years ago their parents came back to life, but it wasn't really them, it was just some LMDs built by Chameleon. He's telling her this because they are in it together, because they are family, and because of that, Peter knows that Teresa can't kill the villain, since that's the difference between them and the bad guys. Teresa agrees, since Doom will probably just kill him anyway, unless Peter intends to talk him out of it as well. Peter has no idea what to do in their current situation, but he knows that they have to do something, as Teresa says that Peter's back is glowing. He remembers he has the clairvoyant in his web pack, and taking it out he tells his sister what it does, but he needs a new power source for it. He realizes that in the explosion that happened when Miguel disappeared, the energy must have supercharged the device, giving it all the power it needs. Teresa suggests that they use it to figure out what to do with Doom, so Peter checks the device over, making sure it's stable and activates it, seeing a multitude of different worlds and heroes. He is greeted by Lila, Miguel's AI. He asks it where Miguel is, but Lila says that he isn't there to help, but Lila is, since she can assist him with navigating the infinite multiverse projections for the best possible solutions to his problems. 1 minute later, Spider-Man knows what to do, and it involves needing Chameleon. Doom meanwhile demands the killer, so having Chameleon disguise himself as a Latavaria security agent, Teresa and Peter send him in with Hitman's body, which he delivers to Doom, telling Doom that he was working for a secret new organization that wanted world domination. The plan, however, doesn't work, and Doom knows it's a trick almost immediately, blasting the rooftop that Spider-Man, Teresa, and Chameleon are on. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 35 continued Doom's rule over the New York, and it was fun seeing Peter not only have to deal with that, but also his sister, who is hellbent on killing Chameleon. I loved his little speech about family and how they are in this together, and it's what brings her back from doing something very terrible. It's interesting that Miguel's power seems to have given the clairvoyant all the power it needs, and I have to wonder if that was the twist, that Miguel inadvertently maybe causes the crisis in his own future to happen, and that's what we'll learn later on in the 2099 event and next issue. The only downside to this issue was the art, since some of the character proportions were hilariously bad and looked very rushed as well. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.